What kind of an economic impact will these games have on Vancouver, Whistler, and Richmond?
Currently, there's an estimated $4 billion economic impact, but that's gross and does not take into account the amount of money the government has been spending.
Can you share more about how the recession has impacted the price of the Olympic Games for citizens of Vancouver?
One major example is the Olympic Village, which was supposed to be privately financed. That developer was no longer able to continue on the project, and the citizens are going to be responsible for the $1.1 billion cost of that village.
What are the biggest problems the organizers have had to overcome for these games?
The challenging economy is the #1 problem that the organizers have faced. Their budgets have been slashed. They've had to reach out to government to compensate. Two of the International Olympic Committee top sponsors did not renew. The current sponsors reduced their spending dramatically, so they did not purchase as many tickets. They're reducing their hospitality, and all of this impacts the bottom line.
Where do you think the Vancouver organizers will realize their biggest success?
I think the citizens of Vancouver are really going to make these games shine. They're warm, they're welcoming, and they have a lot of spirit. They love sports, and it's going to be a great atmosphere similar to the 1994 Winter Olympic Games in Lillehammer.
Where do you think the Olympic organizers will fall short?
Transportation up to Whistler is going to be an issue. I think once people take that 3-hour commute, they may not want to repeat that, and that's where I think the downfall is going to be.
As an Olympic scholar, what are some of the challenges you see facing the Olympic movement?
The International Olympic Committee is facing the reality of how to engage the youth more in the Olympic Games. There are so many options now for young people that many of them are not as excited about the Olympics as they used to be. One of the best things that I've seen recently is the relationships with EA Sports and the Mario brothers at the Winter Olympic Games. This teaches the young people about the winter sports and also is making them excited to watch the games on television.
How did you first get interested in taking students to the Olympic Games?
In 1984, I had the opportunity of being an intern at the U.S. Olympic Committee and traveled to Sarajevo. From that experience, I realized how much I learned by being on site at this mega event. And then I continued going as a student and a researcher, and in 1992, when I joined the faculty at George Washington University, proposed the idea of taking my students so they had that same experience.
How many years have you taken students to the Olympic Games, and what do you hope that they get out of the experience each time?
This is the 10th consecutive Olympic Games that I've taken GW students. And besides learning about the management and marketing of the Games, I hope that they get the Olympic spirit and come back and share that with others. They also have an opportunity to meet with very high-end, experienced managers from corporations and from the IOC, and I hope this leads to great networking and career opportunities in the future.
What do you have students do as part of the coursework while they're over there?
Prior to departing for Vancouver, the students learn all about the history, organization, different programs of the Olympic movement, and they spend a lot of time writing term papers on a specific topic of the Games, whether it's Olympic solidarity, the economic impact, the transportation, marketing. Once at the Games, I have meetings lined up with everyone from IOC members to board of directors of VANOC, the organizing committee, to U.S. Olympic Committee representatives, many corporate sponsors, learning about how much they spend and why they spend that and how they leverage the Olympic Games, and all the way down to athletes and volunteers.
Of the 14 Olympic Games you've attended, which is your favorite and why?
Sarajevo stands out as my favorite just because that was my first Games, and also it was the the last non-commercial games. But beyond Sarajevo, because those were so special, Barcelona for summer games, the people were just warm and welcoming, and the venues were magnificent. The vistas are uncomparable. Then for winter games, it was definitely 1994 Lillehammer. Those Norwegians just could not have been more excited to host the games, and they had the true Olympic spirit, sharing flags, cheering for every country. It was just an incredible opportunity to be there.